Back at it today. What I need to do now is convert this automatic pedal box here that I scored for a good price to a boosterless setup for the car. What I'm going to do is take apart the original from the car, or whatever was on the car when I got it, and take all the parts off and make a template for where the clutch master sits, because I need to transfer that over to the automatic box and at the same time make a reinforcement for the brake master that I'm going to add to come right off the bottom of the pedal box. So lots to do. What I'm going to start with is tearing these down. I have brand new parts and bushings for everything for the rebuild, but the main goal right now is to get everything set up and fitted into the car with the brake booster or the brake master set up right on the pedal box. So I got a couple bins to put parts in. Time to take it all apart. That came apart pretty easy, and the only thing this one was missing was the stupid cover down here, which I may just weld up because I don't really like the idea of getting a whole bunch of debris up in here with the cover. I'll show you that on the original to the car. By the time I'm done here today, we will also have cut this off. So nice. So now, hopefully, the manual pedal box comes apart just as easy. So I had put this back together to make sure I knew how it goes. It's pretty simple, and Real OEM's got a great breakdown on this stuff. So just a quick view of that. We're going to pull this all apart again. Probably punch myself in the face. And let's compare. So I think, other than where this spring clip is welded on, they are identical, which is good news. So I think what I'm going to do is just verify that by putting the pedal assembly from this into here. If that works, we're laughing. And this one, like I say, becomes kind of a spare, or maybe something to play with later. I'm not going to put too much effort into this, but I just want to see how well it goes here. So. There we go. Okay, after a bit of trial and error and some careful measurements, I came up with this template for the reinforcement plate. So in the manual version of the pedal box, there's a plate in here that's been spot welded in place just to reinforce the pedal box where the master attaches for the clutch. So instead of doing just a separate one for the brake master, I'm going to combine them into one. And so this is the pattern for the clutch, and that's the pattern for the brake. That ellipse is what I'm going to use to line everything up. So basically, this should line up just like so. I think I'm going to put it on my original box first, cut the holes, mount it up, and see if it works. I might just grab a hole saw and cut this one right now and see if I can get it to work. Modified. Okay, so major issue. The master cylinder that I chose is way too long. It's fouling right here on the steering arm, and it's not just a little bit either, it's like right on the center line of the master. I was hoping to be able to shave some off the end of the master or shave a bit of the arm, but it looks like the only way to get that master to work is to get a different steering arm, which is probably more trouble than it's worth. So I think I may have to go back to the drawing board on selecting a different master, but I'm going to go ahead with the mods to the pedal box because the way I designed my change was to accept a whole bunch of different ones. That's a shame. It's so close. Okay, so there's a few issues with my awesome plan here. First one is this master that I bought is supposed to be a reproduction of a master for a Super Beetle or a Carmen Ghia. I put a lot of time into making sure that all the dimensions were what I wanted. So what's happened is the reproduction is longer than the original. One of the problems I'm going to have if I want to go with the original is sourcing one. They're very expensive. I think I can only get them out of Europe. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one anyway with a couple changes to my plan. So one thing I'm going to do, I don't know if you can see that there, is I'm going to raise up the position for the brake master. I had that on the same line with the same horizontal level with the clutch, but one of the things that's happening is this hole is right on the radius of the pedal box anyway, so I think it's going to come up. So I've raised that up 6 millimeters. Plan's the same there. Should work. We'll find out. So right now it's time to go to the plasma cave and cut out the plates to at least tack weld them into place so we can test all this out and see if it works. All right, so here I am in my mom's garage. She's got a plasma cutter with CNC capabilities, so I'm going to cut out the plates that I need, a couple of lock-off plates. Pretty fun little machine, and makes all the upcoming fabrication work a lot easier. So here we go. Cycle start. And there we go. nice hot fresh parts. So I'm going to cut a couple of those block off plates, probably one more of these, and then get to welding those into the pedal box. Okay, so next step is to cut the brace that ties up the vacuum booster assembly to the pedal box and ties into the top of the car. I'm not going to have this. This is what makes the room for the Delorto carb, so it's got to come off. There we go. Cutting up maybe a rare part. So just got to clean that up a bit and we got a nice fresh part. Oh, no. Cut too deep. Damn it. Okay, so there it is. Reduced size pedal box. So now it's just a matter of getting this to fit in there. So it'll be a little bit of work to get that to happen, but I got some templates to help me get it in place. Gonna try to get all the paint out of here for when I weld it, so I'm gonna do that next. But I was thinking to myself, it's not a half bad position. I can lay a decent feed down, so it's okay to put the holes in and fit it. Alright, after some plasma cutting and some massaging, holes are in place. Everything's there. Master fits. Clutch fits. Time to test fit it all. Long story short, there's interference. I think that I can chamfer this master off and create enough room to make this work. So I'm going to do that. Essentially there's a bore drilled in here, channel ways drilled in. There's always a little extra material just to make sure that everybody's got room for channels and the drilling and all that stuff. So I think we can make this work. If not, I'll start the search for a different master or go with the stock. But I'm going to bust the grinder out and find out how robust this casting is. As it turns out, there's quite a lot of meat on that casting, so I was able to shave it back enough. I'm not going to pretend that it's a lot of clearance, but I think it's enough to deal with the chassis flex. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get another master picked out. Maybe I can source the one that I've actually tried to find, but car can steer. Without clearance issues. That's all we can ask for.